You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
Well, I guess we'll get to the matter of hand. I was gonna when you was a younger Charlie Touche, not as, and obviously you're older than me, so I guess you might have been too cool for this. Did you ever play or watch the anime/cartoon Yu-Gi-Oh?
Nah.
Do you even know what it is?
Nah.
It's like kind of like Pokemon, but more just like basically like a trading card game.
I don't know. Is Pokemon considered anime?
Kind of, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's the thing. It's like I would never consider Yu-Gi-Oh an anime. I would call it a cartoon. Same with like Avatar, The Last Airbender, and stuff like that. But they're technically animes, so I'm just like, cool, fair enough. But I played Yu-Gi-Oh growing up. Like the nerd, that's how nerdy I was. There's a free game on PlayStation, Xbox. Started playing it, and I'm getting cooked on Reddit. Basically, like I've been called a Yu-Gi boomer. I've been called an old person. I'm just like, wow, that's been my Easter weekend, getting cooked on Reddit, which has been a welcome escape from getting cooked on YouTube. Cooked on, yeah. Actually, no, I'm getting cooked on YouTube and cooked on Twitter. I'm just getting cooked across all social media for various different things. So that's how my Easter weekend's been. How about yours?
I mean, it's a good thing I ain't come to London this weekend and cook you on the pitch, mate.
It's not gonna happen, but okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Hey, it's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Man, we had, I don't know if you guys caught the last episode of Same Old Dolphins. I was a guest over there with Josh and Aaron Kasker. That was a pretty good episode. Check it out over there, man. It was good time, fun times. But a lot of media availability, Kadeem. We had Landon Roberts, Xavier Howard, Tua Tagovailoa. Shout out to the QB1. Gesicki. A lot of talking going on, man. Shout out. I got my little luau attire and just basically trying to get my Mike McDaniel best impression of Mike McDaniel going on here.
I was gonna say, like, so I've kind of gone for like the fish tank look. Obviously Tua was on the fish tank. So I've kind of gone for like the team hoodie or that team, apparel kind of thing. You kind of gone for the luau kind of look. I feel like we're both sending subtle hints that we kind of want to be around the past few days in Miami, I guess. And yeah, it's been a lot of players talking. You mentioned Landon Roberts. We've had Jalen Waddle and Jamar Chase on I'm Athlete. And we also saw Mike Gesicki and friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson. Yeah, also Just Media as well. And it's like, I feel like it's one of those things where just because of the way life has been for both of us the past 7 days, we haven't been able to fully, jump on straight away. We've just happened. Let's talk about that and kind of stuff. So what to me, there's so much to get through with all these different players. But the one thing I kind of noticed a theme of, it kind of always got back to Tua, if that makes sense. Now, for Jalen Waddle and for Mike Gesicki, it made sense that they were asked questions about Tua, about the offense. I totally understand that. I guess the same with Austin Jackson, given, he's an offensive, he plays on the defensive side of the ball. He protects Tua. Could be going to right tackle this year and stuff like that. And I guess it was a welcome change from what we've seen over the past 12 months, where players were openly positive about Tua, but kind of in their own special ways. What did you make of that?
I think it's because in the real world, the quarterback gets too much of the blame and too much of the credit. Too much of the blame when they lose and too much of the credit when they win, right? Except if you're the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins, you don't get credit for winning and you get all the blame for losing. So it's just a wild dynamic here in Miami, and that's got to be it, right? So you got Mike Gesicki, Tyreek Hill coming in. I think everybody's like, all right, we finally have a team on both sides of the ball. Now let's just play football. But we can't just play football because we're like 5 months out still. So there's no football to be talking about or to see. So now all you have is conversation. And now is this person going to show up? Is this person not going to show up? Are we going to look good? Are we not going to look good? So everybody has a opinion, and we have to endure it, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like I said, everyone's got an opinion. It's so telling that even I think the fan base is always going to be split on Tua, but it's one of those things where, and you say it all the time, Twitter isn't a real place. Why are you engaging with people on social media? It's a complete waste of time. But you're getting these fans who only kind of see football in their view, which is fine. That's how we all see football and stuff like that. But they'll be like, Tua's finished, Tua's not good. And then you're getting people like, T.O., Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, and it's like, no, Tua's a dude. Like, Tua is a genuine dude. Like, he's a baller, he's a warrior, he's a winner. And it kind of like, I found like the theme of the past 7 to 10 days has been just wait and see. And I think like what Jalen Waddle was asked about Tua and stuff, and he was kind of like, I'm not going to speak for him, but he's a winner. Watch what this kid's going to do this season. We've seen that clip with T.O. and I believe it's Brennan Scarlett, and T.O. talks about being in Bama, working out with the receivers and stuff like that. And I believe they wanted, was it Jerry Judy he wanted to work out with and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was the receiver. No, they wanted Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was the starting quarterback, and it was all the receivers over there. So all the the Judys and Ruggs and all those guys were there, and they're like, "Hey, we couldn't get Jalen Hurts, but wait till you see Tua. Like, wait till you see this freshman that we got." And then T.O. was like, all right, we'll see what the freshman got. And then he started throwing, and he was like, freshman? You know what I'm saying? I think T.O. corrected him one time. I think he said he had to correct him one time, and that was it.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen that T.O. clip, we've got it on our Go Time Dolphins Twitter account. But it's like the way he talks about him is just like a true freshman balling like this. Yeah, he's going to be fine. And that's why you kind of get these people who remember Tua as, the star quarterback at Alabama, but also seeing Tua in the NFL and going, no, he still has that. He's still getting over his injury, but, write this guy out at your own peril, because when he has, so to kind of fast forward to the fish tank interview, I think they mentioned on there that he'd been through like 6 coordinators in 2 years.
No, six OCs in 6 years.
Yeah. So yeah. And it's been what, 3 in Miami, I believe.
Yeah, so far, but this will be his 4th.
Yeah. But he just like the verbiage, like it's basically just different verbiage. He says that, you realize that one offensive scheme calls a corner or a post this, another calls it that, and he's so laid back in terms of other quarterbacks, and you're kind of seeing it, in Cleveland and stuff like that. They are openly talking about the way they've been treated, and Tua is just like, it's a part of football. I have to take it, take it in my stride and keep on going. And I'm sure you guys have all kind of seen the interview by now if you're expecting, I don't know, like it's very much a sit down, but Tua doesn't really give too much away, if that makes sense. If you're expecting him to talk about Brian Flores and all the kind of stuff, it's not going to happen. Tua's not that person. So yeah, I find it really interesting. And even he kind of says, it's like, I'm ready for year 3. I'm excited. He's excited to work with Mike McDaniel. He's excited to work with Jalen Waddle. He's excited to work with Tyreek Hill. He's excited to work, with Teron Armstead as his left tackle. It's going to be it's exciting. I'm not going to say, the phrase that everyone's saying because, I don't like it. I don't see the point of saying it.
What phrase?
I can't remember. It's gone. So, but yeah, it's excited. That's the word that came up quite a lot over the past 7 days.
So for the average football fan that doesn't know the significance of installing an offense and why it's such a big deal that there's 6 coordinators in 6 different seasons, I'm gonna help you out. It has been said that it takes a season to install an offense. An entire season. Like the first season under a new coordinator is all install. So you're not expected to have the offense running full throttle until year 2. That's why you want to get comfortable with the verbiage. You want to know how to check out. You want to know how to check into new things. You want to be comfortable with reads and stuff like that with a new system. So if you have 6 different OCs in 6 seasons, imagine there's no continuity there, right? So if you guys remember Brett Favre went from Green Bay to the Jets. And when the Jets brought him in, they said they weren't going to give him a new offense. The whole offense had to learn his offense. That is just wild. That is a wild concept. It's almost like learning a new language. The same way, you might, my Creole and my Spanish ain't that good. So maybe I can't get the best example, but similar words in different languages sound similar. So that's how you get a route concept, how they sound similar in different offensive systems. So if you go through 6 offensive systems in 6 seasons, that's not comfort. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to call plays in your sleep. You want to be able to check out of plays in your sleep. You want to know, oh, you know what? I love this play. I've been running this play for 4 years, right? Like this is my go-to. So that's the significance of, why does it matter he had so many different OCs? Back to what you were saying about, Waddle. Waddle also mentioned the infamous, I'll take Mac Jones over Tua, right?
Hilarious.
So he was on I Am Athlete, and everybody was when Waddle was drafted, he came out the same year as Mac Jones, which is 2021. And the question was, who would you take, Mac Jones or Tua? And that's when Waddle said, give me Mac. So now he's on I Am Athlete, and I believe it was Omar Kelly that asked him, and he said, hey, you say you'll take Mac Jones over Tua. What's up with that?
Before you really go into that, I remember us discussing that, and not to give the game away, the answer away, but we basically said, everyone assumed it was one thing. The Tua doubters were like, see, all that kind of stuff. And it might have been 12 months later, but Jalen Waddle basically said what we assumed at the time. So, yeah.
No. It's not what we assumed. It's not what everyone assumed. It's everyone who knew Tua was better than Mac Jones knew why Waddle answered it like that. So for those who didn't believe Tua was better than Mac Jones, it was ammunition. And Jalen Waddle comes out and says, see, I knew y'all was going to ask me that question. And here's why I said it. Tua was already in the league. Tua was already getting paid. He was a top 5 quarterback. He got the bag. Mac wasn't in the league yet. And I'm trying to help out the guy who's not in the league to try to get his bag. In a nutshell, that's it. So, but you have people on Twitter like, well, is he saying that now about Tua because he's his quarterback? Because he's just going to protect him because it's his quarterback now, the same way he protected Mac Jones. Like, all right, I'm done with conjecture, bro. I can't wait. What is everyone gonna say when we win over 12 games this year?
Oh, they were like, oh, he had to get Tyreek Hill. Oh, he had to get Mike McDaniel. Oh, he had to get a left tackle. And again, we'll just turn around and go, so, and again, this isn't a knock against the other quarterbacks and other teams, but same way if Derek Carr and the Raiders go on to win that division, they'll be like, oh, see, Derek Carr is so great. And it's like, then they have to go and get Devontae Adams. Like, again, keep up the same energy. That's all us Dolphins fans ask. When you're seeing all these other teams get weapons for their receiver, be it a vet or a rookie or a young guy, it's good to see that team surround their quarterback with the weapons needed to succeed. When it's the Dolphins, it's Tua needs that help. Like it's never the same. It's always a knock against Tua.
Bro, the notion that everyone feels like, oh, there's no excuses now. That is the funniest thing to me. I'm going to say it again. As if he's Dak Prescott with the best team on paper in the league. With Ezekiel, as if he was Dak Prescott, meaning he had Ezekiel Elliott, he had CeeDee Lamb, he had Amari Cooper, he had a top 5 O-line, and all those other weapons he had. And Dak still hasn't done anything with them. Or he was Baker Mayfield with Jarvis Landry and Odell and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Or he was my favorite, Justin Herbert, with the best route runner in the league in Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Austin Eckler. Yo, this is the first time he gets to be in the conversation of having an offense like those other quarterbacks I just mentioned. So how is it now? Oh, he has no excuses. Like, how come no one coming at Dak? But I mean, they kind of come at Dak, but not like they come at Tua. They come at Baker now, but not like they come at Tua. Now it's a little more hot on Baker. Okay. They not coming at Justin Herbert. You know what I'm saying? He had 2 years with a better offense. So I don't understand that. But that's here nor there. I just moving on to Mike Gesicki, it's funny how everyone wants to play here. They're not saying, get me out of here. I don't believe in Tua. You don't see X came back. Yayo stayed close. You know what I'm saying? Mike want to come back. People want to come back, and they know Tua is the quarterback. It's not like there's a mass exodus to get out of here because Tua is the quarterback. So that has to say something. Shout out to Mike Gesicki, man. Listen, if you guys have not seen the Mike Gesicki media availability, it is a must watch. It is so entertaining, man. Like, this man is a Miami Dolphin. I hope he gets the bag, and I hope he stays here forever. Forever. You don't know what movie that is, Kadeem, but you're killing me, Smalls. Listen, man, Mike Gesicki is a Miami Dolphin, and he was talking about his wedding. He was saying how he was in Bora Bora and all this other good stuff, and mentioned how he's the longest, the most tenured Dolphin there is by 17 hours over Durham Smythe now. Like, man, listen, this man is a treat, and we appreciate having you here, Mr. Gesicki.
Hold on. Is it the longest serving Dolphin on the offensive side of the ball? Wouldn't Xavier Howard be?
It is on the offense.
Yeah. I just quickly pulled up the stuff about the franchise tag and stuff like that, because to me it was he's about himself. He wants to targets and stuff like that. You know, you've all seen the clip. You know, first and 5, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 15. Just throw me the ball. But I want to read out what he said about being placed on a franchise tag. He said that's kind of up to, obviously it's up to me, but more my agent and him kind of putting that out there. But as of now, I'm in here and I'm not really a big controversy guy. I'm not trying to be that guy that's a bad locker room guy, or the guy that's bringing the organization down, or the guy that's in the headlines for the wrong reasons. I'm trying to help this team in any way I can. I'm going on my 5th year. I've got to be the leader. So obviously be a team guy and continue to do what I do and come in here with a smile on my face and work hard. Listen, pay the guy. Like, please pay the guy. Like, listen, I'm not saying he's going to take a $4 million deal just to stay on the team. Like, it's not about that. But I don't think he's the kind of person that like needs to be the highest paid tight end in the league or the high, like, you know, he even said before, like, pay Durham Smythe. Like, him and Durham Smythe had this amazing relationship where it was like, if anything, he's the guy that needs to get the bag. Like, give him the money, and, you know, like, my time will come and stuff like that. So I still hope he gets that deal. I think he deserves it. He said himself, you know, he's here, he's team first. He's about, you know, being the leader and stuff like that. And you also spoke about, you know, Mike McDaniel, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And I do believe that this offense will get the best out of Mike Gesicki, who isn't a blocking tight end. But when you can pass catch the way he can, you'd be stupid to not, you know, try and find him often, as often as possible.
Hey, he said, my wedding, you know, he had a wedding, and he was also saying, like, you know what? I didn't look 3 years in advance or 2 years or a year and a half in advance when I booked my wedding. Like, I didn't know it was going to be this hectic around free agency, and Bora Bora 6 hours away, and he had to get a text at 3 o'clock in the morning in Bora Bora, and he got 100 text messages and all this other good stuff. And then so he got married and everything. Everybody knows this is well documented now. He got married, and everybody's like, the media there, beat writers are like, what do you compare your wedding and what do you compare the signing of your best friend, basically Durham Smythe? He said, listen, man, my wedding is like here, and me being able to break the news about Durham Smythe is like right here. And if you're listening on audio, you need a visual for that, man. Like, he was like, it was neck and neck, but because he's married now, he couldn't put it on the same level because his wife would kill him. So Mike Gesicki, man, the camaraderie and the friendships of this locker room, even Emmanuel Agba walked in the locker room. He was like, it's a different vibe. Everyone's happy to be back. It's only been 2 months, but it feels like it's been 2 years, and they just ready to play games now. So with that vibe and that feeling, you want to play. Like, I want to play with my teammates. I want to show up now.
Yeah, definitely. You said, you know, we're on YouTube, we're on iTunes, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. Do us a favor. We generally don't really ask for much, to be fair. But if you listen, whatever listening right now, leave us a like, leave us a comment. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share it, all that kind of stuff. If you're on iTunes or Spotify, you know, we would really appreciate if you leave us a 5-star rating, you know, a comment. Listen, even if you want to say that Charlie Touche sounds better than Kadeem, or Charlie Touche dresses better than Kadeem, I know you're lying, but, you know, sometimes you've got to make, you know, Charlie feel good, and I understand that. So I would appreciate that. You know, it's one of the things where we know the truth, but, you know, let's empower each other, and, you know, you might see some more crazy outfits like what Charlie's wearing today.
I don't think this is a crazy outfit, actually, and this is it's close to when I mismatched my Hush puppies in high school. It's kind of close, but
still can't believe you got those hideous things. Like,
hey, 5-star reviews on iTunes are very important to us. Please help us out. We appreciate you. Thank you in advance. Friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson, gets on the podium in the media availability, and I got a question for you because I kind of like this. Does Austin Jackson really have a chance to beat out Eichenberg at right tackle?
Yeah. I still think Eichenberg will win that job, but of course Austin Jackson's got a chance. I think the way he kind of spoke about it as well is more of a kind of like, he's athletic. He obviously believes that he can. He has what it takes to be Tua's blindside protector. And I think, you know, he said himself, he's played right tackle. He played right tackle. His exact quotes were, and I can get up as well. He says, I've actually played right tackle. This isn't the first time playing a new role for me. I played it in high school. I played it in college. actually collegiately starting at it. So yeah, in not being new to him kind of means it's not totally alien to him. It means he has some familiarity with it. I don't think it's natural for him, but again, I kind of feel like, do you remember when I believe it was Blake Bortles, but also I guess Patrick Mahomes, when they got to the NFL and the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs effectively had to basically break down their mechanics and start all over again. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these young offensive linemen get their mechanics totally broken down and start again and say, listen, you guys were great in college. That's why you were drafted where you were. It hasn't quite worked in the NFL, but that's not on you. So I'm just on the coaching. So we're going to basically start from day zero, from year zero, from starting point. And we're going to, train you and coach you in the way that we want you to pass block, run block, all that kind of stuff. So I think from that point of view, then yeah, of course he's got a chance. I still think Liam Eichenberg will win it. But at the same time, I think Austin Jackson's athletic ability could give him, a upper hand, especially in this running scheme, I guess.
Unpopular opinion. I really think Austin Jackson beats out Liam Eichenberg at right tackle. I think his athleticism puts him over the top. I think he's a better run blocker at right tackle than Liam Eichenberg. And no shot at Liam Eichenberg, but we've seen him at right tackle before, and he wasn't the best. And if you look, and everybody, I remember a couple of people came on a podcast and saying, oh, we need more, quote unquote, more attitude on the line or dogs on the line. And in every game last year, Austin Jackson was bullying somebody, mauling somebody after the play, almost getting into fights and pushing defensive linemen around. And I think if you have that in the run game, it's going to look a whole lot different. So pass blocking might look a little, who knows? I'm not sure. And I'm not inclined to say Eichenberg is better than him at pass blocking at right tackle, because Eichenberg statistically was the worst tackle we had last year. Worse than Jesse Davis statistically. So I don't know. I really think Austin Jackson has a chance to beat him out, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, if Jackson does beat out Eichenberg, then I think Eichenberg becomes, that sixth man basically. His versatility across the line, really helps, I guess. It would, I think regardless, between the two of them, they'll both start about 7 to 8 games.
It's crazy. It'll turn Eichenberg into a second round Jesse Davis. That's the wildest thing. That's unacceptable. But you gotta be flexible. You gotta be able to play multiple positions. People will get hurt, and to have Eichenberg floating and to have Austin to be able to play left guard, left tackle, right tackle, I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm sorry. I don't hate it.
Yeah. And I was going to say, but also it's, Jackson has played center as well. Like it's one of the things where I think we said before, the only, of the 5 starting positions, I say 2/3 are totally nailed down. And, that's, left tackle, left guard, and right guard in Teron Armstead, Connor Williams, and Fender Podcast, Robert Hunt. People still think that Robert Hunt should be moved to right tackle. We wholeheartedly disagree with you, but, that's up to you, I guess. And I think it just comes down to between Michael Dieter, Fender Podcast, Austin Jackson, Liam Eichenberg, I guess Robert Jones as well, who's going to, nail down those, who's going to win the battle for those final 2 positions, basically.
And the draft is coming up. So
that as well, yeah.
So we might, and I think last episode I said we still have a 3rd and 2 fourths. We only have 1 4th. So we have a 3rd, a 4th, and a 7th. One of those 4ths went to Kansas City for Tyreek Hill. So you can still package a 3rd and a 4th to move up to the front of the 3rd round, or even probably not the end of the 2nd, but you could still move up and navigate the waters of a 3rd round pick and moving up to get somebody. So if you like Cam Jurgens or Cade, you know what? Touche's 24 is coming up. It might be the next episode. I'm not sure if it's the next episode or episode after that. We'll have to figure it out. But it's Touche's 24 is coming up. It might be the next episode. It might be the episode after that. But just know it. We're on deck. Lastly, the button up Austin Jackson. He said Mike McDaniel exudes confidence. He didn't use the word exudes. I just put it out my vocab. Exudes confidence. He actually said it's gross. He used that word, not me. He like it's gross how much confidence Mike McDaniel has, and he loves it. He was like, yo, I love how gross it is. Like, yo, you just know that he knows what he's doing, knows what he's talking about, and you cannot wait to see how fast the team is going to be, how fast and athletic the line is going to be. And I don't know if you have a Miami Dolphins podcast and you not saying check your posts. I don't know what's going on, baby. Like, you got to check your posts, man. Like, you got to be excited. Forget the word excited. We checking posts out here.
It's funny you said that, because to kind of take it back to, where we started with Tua and stuff like that. What Tua said at his luau, kind of saying, it was great to see him basically being backed in this environment. Now, I think that was kind of like that kind of thing had two meanings. One, he was genuinely, overwhelmed to have, players and coaches, from Mike McDaniel to the offensive coordinator to Dan Marino to Jalen Phillips to all that kind of stuff, be there and support his foundation. But also, like, there's kind of like I'm also backed as a player. And he also said in the fish tank, he was asked, how did he basically get Mike McDaniel to go up on stage? And he was kind of like, it was actually really easy. Because I think Mike McDaniel has that, listen, I'm one of you guys. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm the coach and what I say goes, but I want you guys to feel comfortable with me. I want you guys to be able to come to speak to me about anything. And also, not just speak about, the X's and O's, but also as human beings, I want to connect on that level as well. So, yeah, I guess that's the one thing which you're going to see going forward. This is a player's coach. Guys are going to want to come to Miami to play under this coach. And I'll leave you to say the CTP thing. I'll just say, CYP, sorry.
This guy.
Because I'm still wait and see. But at the same time, though, it's exciting. I could be excited while still being, a bit standoffish, which is basically my personality as a whole. Excited but a bit standoffish. Unless I'm drinking alcohol, at which point I'll be up until 4 a.m. with two Americans I have never met before in my whole entire life, speaking Miami Dolphins. And then like 5-6 years later, I'm still chatting to one of them on a daily basis about a team that, I fell in love with via Madden.
I love it. You like it? I love it. Hey, Mike McDaniel has so much charisma. Dude is so charismatic. There's some type of future, like TV show or reality segment with Mike McDaniel. That dude is awesome. Shout out to Raekwon Davis. Always had I can't say always, but he was at Tua's house. They were playing music together. Tua plays the ukulele.
And the bass.
What's the name? Lynn Bowden Jr. is over there every day. Bro, it's so funny how everybody, no one likes Tua. All right, we'll see about that. Listen, man, y'all come on over to bonus time with us. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive, test negative for Kadeem Simmons. Why I keep fumbling this man, man? Now I got to hear it. Y'all don't know, when I fumble Kadeem's name, I got to hear it, bro. Like, why you ain't maneuvering the pocket? Why you couldn't improvise? All right, you know what? But it is what it is. Stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
I was chatting to our friend Fom
Tom.
over on his Twitch channel, Furious Johnson. Go check it out. And he was saying that basically the reason he spells his name that way is because there were so many people in his school called Tom. Each basically wants to be different. And I was like, I never had that problem because Kadeem, like, you don't know anyone called Kadeem. Like, it's a name which I'm completely fine. If anything, I wanted a name like Tom. Have I ever told you the Power Ranger story?
Nah.
So Power Rangers just comes, like Mike Wolf Power Rangers just come out, and I am so obsessed with it. Like, it's mental. And my mom tells a story about how she was driving in the car, and I was at the back. I must have been about 5 or 6, and I was like, Mom, I don't like my name. She was like, why? And I was like, because there's no one called Kadeem in school. I kind of feel like, it's just me. My mom's like, I actually kind of felt sorry for him because it's such a unique name. It's like you kind of feel a bit isolated. So she was like, okay, what would you change your name to? And I was like, I don't know, something like Zach or Billy or Jason. And she was like, those are the Power Rangers names. She was like, Kadeem, shut up. She was like, no, you're being called Kadeem. You're not trying to change your name to a Power Ranger. I love Power Rangers, man. That was my jam.
Da, 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 da.
Dude, when Tommy came, like, oh my days, that was the original GOAT, man. That guy. Yeah, it's been we're really about to hit the, after the draft, a quiet season. But I guess it's one last thing to discuss since the rumors that the Dolphins aren't finished in terms of paying players, and Christian Wilkins might be getting a new contract.
See, Kadeem, the perfect segue was, let's talk about the Power Ranger on the team that is Christian Wilkins. You know what I'm saying? That's
how did I miss that?
You blew it.
No, I fumbled. I fumbled on the 1 yard line. I fumbled bad on the 1 yard line. This is why
you remember when what's that? Kenyon Drake fumbled on the 1 yard line? You remember that? Yeah. In overtime, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Or it was either the end of the game and it went to overtime because he fumbled on the 1, or it was overtime and he fumbled on the 1, but we got the ball back and won. I can't remember, but man, bro, this man fumbled on the 1 yard line, bro. That was so heartbreaking. I'm like, you can't be serious right
now. Chicago Bears overtime approaching, and he fumbles. 2018,
crazy.
But yeah, so let's pretend that I didn't fumble and that it was a perfect. Again, this is why I'm the co-host. Even though there's two of us, and I like to think that we're on par and on level, we're not. I know my ranking. Like, if you're here, I'm here, but there's a difference. So
yeah,
let's talk about the Power Ranger Christian Wilkins potentially getting a long-term deal. My only negative to it would be that kind of makes it harder to retain Mike Gesicki, I think. But yeah, Christian Wilkins, what do you think?
So we could start right there, because and I don't think it's an extension. I think it's the 5th-year option, meaning we will have 1 year where Christian Wilkins will still be on the team. Mike Gesicki will then get extended. The cap goes up every single year. And now we're talking about, okay, now what? So everybody can't get paid. But if Tua ends up being the guy, which we know he will, you don't have to go to free agency because you have a plethora of draft picks now. So your team is built. The foundation of your team is built. Your defense is built. We all know we're not going to go on a 7-game losing streak this season. It's not going to happen. Now you have your offense. The nucleus of your offense has just now been put together 3 years in, but whatever. We're here. We made it. So now you have the nucleus of your offense, the nucleus of your defense, and you can start paying people now. So even if Gesicki gets extended, Wilkins gets the 5th-year option, you don't have to worry about, oh, what free agents are we going to bring in next year? How are we going to pay everybody? Well, you can pay everybody because they're under contract, but now you have all these draft picks and you don't have to pay free agents no more. You can go back to drafting, rookies and 2 in the first round, a 2nd-round pick and 2/3 right now. That's what we got. 2 in the first round, a 2nd-round pick and 2/3, as opposed to what some people believe that we may be holding on, which could very well be true. If we wet the bed, it's going to look bad, and they're going to package those picks for a quarterback.
Yeah. So this is genuine first world problems of living in London or the UK, being a Miami Dolphins fan. When you want to check a website and you get this, I'm just like, dude, like, just let me read the article. So I tried to get a VPN. The VPN should sponsor the podcast, is what it is. But basically, that article, from what the headline basically is that the Dolphins will attempt to extend Wilkins before giving him the 5th year option. Yeah. And I think there's like a May 2nd deadline or something. So it looks like
I could understand that. Yeah. And this is why. Because now that says exactly what I'm saying. That says, firstly, if we extend them before the deadline, you get them cheaper than waiting for the 5th year option to clear. So if you sign them this year, you're going 2 years ahead of what you can then what you can sign them when you can't sign them. You see what I'm saying? So now you get them cheaper, and then it allows you to pay Gesicki next year. I don't think Gesicki is going to get the bag this year. I think he'll get it extended next year. They're going to fill him out for a year too. Like, okay, well, we answered the question of if we can use this guy in our system. So if you go Christian Wilkins this year, you can sign Mike Gesicki next year. You're good. All you need now is a right tackle, and that is it. Just a right tackle, and your team is put together, and you have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds of next year's draft. The Dolphins, y'all lucky I ain't got my conductor hat. Y'all lucky it's not on deck, because I would have put it on. Chris Greer is doing the thing the right way.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to, like I said it before, I love to see Wilkins and Gesicki get extended in Miami, keep the band together. And again, it kind of goes back to what the original plan was when they hired, Brian Flores, which was, we're going to build through the draft, we're going to extend our guys and stuff like that. You've seen X get extended, James Smith being extended. Yeah, it makes sense that you want to, basically the first guy you drafted in Christian Wilkins, extend him as well. And then, but I think a lot of that will be, ensuring that the Dolphins, basically that things work out this year, and you don't have to go and, trade for an expensive quarterback and use all the draft picks, and all of a sudden, that's when you've got to start dismantling the team because it didn't work out. But that's not going to happen. We'll be good, and hopefully our guys get paid.